The interview with Hammerfall, and I got Joacim here. Is it right, Joacim? What is the spell of the name, right?
It's more or less right, yes. It depends on what country you come to. It could be either Joacim or Joaquin if you go to Spain, or Joacim. You know what? It doesn't really matter. I'm here.
And that's fine. And we are here in Helsinki, not in Germany or some other country. So, my first question has something to do with the history of the band, because what many people don't know is you're not in the band since the beginning. You're in the first 3 years, there was another singer called, what was the name?
Michael Stanne.
Yeah, Michael. And why does he left the band?
The thing is that Hammerfall was a side project to a lot of bands from the Gothenburg area. Michael had to go on tour with his band, and therefore they were standing without a singer for this, like a music competition that were taking place in Gothenburg. And due to the fact that Michael had his band, and this band is still Dark Tranquillity, so I think he fits better in Dark Tranquillity compared to Hammerfall. He's a great guy and a great singer, but his voice was maybe more towards the death metal scene. But I was still only asked to help them out doing one show, and I'm still here.
You joined the band in 1969, that is right, no? And they still ask you for the show?
69, 96, I think.
Yes, right.
I was a sperm when Oscar called me.
Maybe you can when you hear. What was the reason that they only to help, or what was it? Well, this wasn't in a competition. There was a competition with the band, and
like I mentioned, this was this competition for rock bands in the Gothenburg area, and Hammerfall made it to the semifinals. And due to the fact that Michael, their singer, had to go on tour, they needed someone to take his place. But as soon as I met Oscar, we realized that we were somewhat soulmates in metal music. We had the same influences, the same visions and dreams when it comes to music. So instantly we just felt, hey, we need to continue this together.
And that was the reason that you stay only here in this band. But you play in other bands, but before you play in some bands, you got a record store. What kind of CDs you sell there?
Well, I was working in a record store. Okay. It was not my own. When I started, I really developed the metal section. We had a huge hard rock and metal section in there. But I also liked, which people maybe don't know, musicals. So I was in charge of the hard rock heavy metal section and the musicals. For some weird reason, I kind of like the don't talk about musicals. Forget about that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like them too.
Yes.
So.
Here we go.
Yeah. What was your favorite musical?
My favorite is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I never heard.
It has to be the Los Angeles cast from 1992, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite is We Will Rock You. Tribute to Queen. It's brilliant. I saw ABBA and something like that. And I like to see more, but they don't come to Berlin. What was your first experience with the music as you was a child?
Well, that was my father buying a brand new hi-fi and putting in the living room where no kids were allowed. So we didn't use it for a couple of years because he didn't like music, and we couldn't touch it because it was off limits for the kids. Let's say, I think what we can talk about here is the first album I ever bought. It's actually described on the new album in the song called Bang Your Head. If you listen to the lyrics, I'm describing the feelings and everything that happened inside of me when I listened to Saxon, Strong Arm of the Law.
Hey.
That was, nice. I listened to it the other day on vinyl. Huh? I still have it on vinyl. 30 years later, it's still playable.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Yeah, Saxon is also a great band. I will meet them in June. Yeah, when they're in Berlin. Yeah. The next question is, what your first professional band you played in was Eternity?
But that was.
And my question is, what was your first band before, or your really first band you played in?
But that was kind of a band I had in school. We rehearsed at school, only like a three-piece band. I played guitar and yelled into the microphone. We had a bass player who couldn't play and a drummer who was insane, more or less. We didn't have a name. We just had fun.
Okay. And then you create Eternity?
No, I found a band that was looking for a singer, but I didn't want to sing. I wanted to play the guitar only. But I got into this band and kicked the guitar players so I could play the guitar. And we just needed to have a name, and I always felt the Eternity was a good name. Unfortunately, there was another guy from Åland, just outside Finland, whose name was Lars-Erik Mattsson, who decided that Eternity also was a good name and released an album.
Okay.
So we actually decided to quit the band.
And can you remember your first concert you ever played?
I think that was in 1988, I think.
Mm-hmm. Where?
Just outside Gothenburg at a youth center. Mm-hmm. Also like a competition. There's a lot of competitions in Gothenburg. That's a way for unexperienced band to get experience playing on like a professional stage with professional equipment.
Mm-hmm. And you started as a guitar player. How long did you play before you played in a band guitar? How long did you learn?
I can't really play any guitar still. So I bought my first guitar when I was 14, and I formed my first band when I was 15. Mm-hmm. I could barely play, but like I said, we had a lot of fun, and that's, in the end, that's all that counts.
Yeah. So then we come to the history of Hammerfall a little bit. Hammerfall is responsible, you can also read in some magazines.
Yes, please blame us. Yes.
Responsible for change in the metal genre in the mid-19s with the first album, Glory to the Brave. And what do you make of that?
I mean, we came from... I wouldn't say from out of nowhere, but no one expected a band like Hammerfall to appear in the metal scene in 1997. We recorded the album a year earlier, but the impact this album had on the genre was breathtaking. No one could understand what was going on. Not even Nuclear Blast. I know Marcus Steiger, he wanted to have this album, but no one else at the office wanted to have it. Because they said, no. We can't, this music doesn't work anymore. But he said, yes, I like this band. I'm going to release it like it's the biggest band we ever had. And just in a couple of weeks, we became the biggest band they ever had.
Yeah. But and before you came to Nuclear Blast, you was on another label, no?
Yes, but that was only like a formality thing on paper.
Ah, okay.
He made a lot of money because of a piece of paper. But he was the guy who believed in us in the first place. So, I mean, he should be,
That's music business.
Yeah.
What is the background of the name Hammerfall, and what means the name for the band?
I mean, Hammerfall, Oscar came up with the band name quite early. He wanted to have a really powerful name that people couldn't mistake for being a hardcore death metal, black metal band, and he just took the word hammer and fall and put it together, becoming a really powerful name, I would say. There's a song by Warlord called Lucifer's Hammer, where it said the hammer will fall on you. So, to some extent, it could be inspired by that song. But also the word hammer and fall appears in a lot of other... I mean, using Queen, they have a song, "The Hammer to Fall" or something like that, and the hammer fall is actually when you're shooting with a pistol, when this thing back here, whatever you call it,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, hits the bullet. That's the hammer fall.
Ah, okay. Because when you see on some many pictures of Hammerfall, you see the hammer, so that's what some people think. Yeah, Hammerfall must be a normal hammer. So it's good to know that it's not a normal hammer.
But not only. I mean, the hammer was made after the name because we wanted to have like something representing the name, like the warrior with the hammer. So Hector, which his name is, became the symbol for Hammerfall. And what else? He couldn't stand there with a big sword. He needed to have a big hammer, of course.
Yeah. So then in 1997 you start your first tour. That was the first big tour in Europe. You visit so many countries and cities and people. And what is it for a feeling to play for other people your music?
For us, it was unbelievable. Imagine releasing our debut album on June 27th or 20, I can't remember, that year. The first week of August, now we're talking 4.5 weeks later, we're on stage at Wacken Open Air. That was the first thing we did. On the main stage at 8 o'clock in the evening. And everyone knew the lyrics. Except me. I was like, what the hell? How can these people know the lyrics already? I couldn't understand it.
Oh.
So we did these shows, like 4 or 5 shows with Tank and Raven. And wherever we came, people knew the lyrics. And we didn't pull 25 people. Like I heard other bands, when they toured, we had like 20 people. We had hundreds of people coming every night, singing in every fucking song. And then we went out with Gamma Ray on tour, and there was a big learning experience. Kai treated us so good. At some point, we shared the back line in Greece, and I think I'm very grateful to Kai, and I owe him this, that he taught me how to behave, how to treat support bands. So that's how we treat support bands nowadays, with a lot of respect. Because that's all thanks to Kai. And we did 5 weeks all around Europe, and wherever we came, people knew the lyrics. They all had Hammerfall shirts on, and it wasn't hard to really understand what was going on. And we were doing our first headline tour 2 months after we were done with the Gamma Ray tour. And we headlined with an album consisting of 45 minutes of music. We only have 45 minutes of music, but we did a headline tour in Holland.
And what do you play there when you finish the 45 minutes? Cover songs?
No,
or?
You start over again. You play a couple of songs, 2 times. And of course, we did a couple of covers. Yes, we had to do that. So I think we played like an hour and 5 minutes.
Great. Oscar is the only guy which left in the band. No, is in the band still beginning. Do you know why the other members left the band?
This was only a side project to members from In Flames, Dark Tranquility, Ceremonial Oath, Crystal Age, and to them they had their main bands. So when I came, we rewrote all of the songs. They had 2 or 3 songs back then. We redid everything. So the band was formed in 1993, yes, but as what became Hammerfall, I would say, were formed in 1996 when I joined, and me and Oscar really felt that, hey, we have something here, let's do it. So, but yes, he's the brain behind it. Of course, he's the mastermind behind Hammerfall, and he's still the puppet master.
And are you responsible for the songwriting, or is Oscar that people want?
No, it's Oscar and I. In the beginning, it was me, Oscar, and Jesper. We co-wrote everything together. After Renegade, we decided to continue on our own, me and Oscar, because Jesper was had too much to do with In Flames. So the majority of songs, it's still like from the team, Droniak and Kans. It's always been like that, and it's not like we forbid the others to write, but we're a songwriting team that know exactly what the other is capable of. And that's very unique, I would say, and it's also hard to open the door for someone else to get into this, the teamwork that we have.
That's true. And what are the topics in the songs when you listen, or when you see the name of the songs and you listen to the songs? Do you write the songs with much personal influence, or most of them fictitious? What would you say?
I have like 140, 150 songs registered. And I mean, in the end, it's all based on personal experiences as well as good storytelling. I mean, it could be a story about me taking a piss or me, battling a dragon. As long as you get to the point in a very vivid way. Like you describe it. And I mean, heavy metal lyrics to me is based on good storytelling and also underlining the importance of living your life the way you want to live your life. And that is something you can read between the lines on every Hammerfall album.
Yeah, that's true. But I listened to the new album, and when I listened to Bang Your Head, you told that it's had something to do with another thing. But when I listened to this album song, especially, then I think it's something about the festival, Bang Your Head.
Well, not really. I mean, I think it's a little flirting a little bit with Horst. But this is totally the impression, my first impression listening to the Saxon album Strong Arm of the Law.
Yeah. And how long do you need to make a mental note of the melody and the text?
It can take 1 minute. It can take 3 months. It depends. But if I decide that today I'm going to write a song, I'm not going to write anything because it's not going to happen. Yeah. It just happens. Like, now I got it. Maybe after we're done here, you say a word that I pick up. Like, hey, this word I need to remember. And I start to write around this word, and all of a sudden I might be done with the lyrics. And one word can also trigger a melody in my mind. So it just happens. I've been working for months with a song, and then I just throw it away and I start over again.
Yeah. And what comes first in a Hammerfall album, the melody or the songs?
Usually the riffs.
The riffs.
Yeah, the structure of the song. Then we add the melody.
Okay.
But I mean, sometimes it's the other way around. But the majority of times it's first the kind of the structure of the song, the riffing.
Now comes a question which is really long because it's from a user. They can ask you something. And the question is, I will read it. The first album you released in 1997, Glory to the Brave. In some weeks, Hammerfall released the 8th album in the band history called Infected. He wrote that he's really happy because he also hear it. He is also a reporter. And the question is, what would you say, how do you develop the music from Hammerfall, from the first album till now?
I think that we have been able to develop the music without betraying our true identity. I think that what we started, like the development is what you hear on the album Infected, because there's still a broad distance between the two albums, but the soul is still within the music. I would say that there's so much joy on this album that Glory to the Brave and Infected are kind of hand in hand. They are tying all the loose ends that came in between there, I would say.
But it's not only for this both album. I think he means that all albums, when you think...
Yes.
Okay.
But like I said, I think the development is what you have between Glory and Infected. That we've been able to develop our music on every album without betraying the true identity of Hammerfall. As soon as you mention the word change, people get scared. I mean, there is a change to this album, but it's Hammerfall with a twist. This album is what the 80s would have sounded like today. That is how we wanted to have this album sounding. That instead of adding 200 guitars, drum triggers, cutting everything into perfection, we kept it. Just one guitar left, one guitar right, that's it. and the vocals dead center.
Yeah.
We wanted to put the life back into the music, make it more, alive with this album. And that put a lot of pressure on every member, because now I had to make the perfect vocal delivery, because it's there in the middle. There are not many effects. I can't hide behind anything. There are no delay stones to hide behind. I'm there in the middle.
Yeah. And do you practice a long time before you start record a new album?
We didn't practice at all. No, we write the songs and everyone learns the song and then we just record.
Okay. That sounds so good. Another question is, what's going on in the rehearsal room of Hammerfall when you don't play music or practicing songs, which you don't do?
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully no one is there to pamper with our stuff. No, we only rehearse when we have to, actually. We have a great rehearsal space, and it was also in the rehearsal room we recorded parts of the album.
Mm-hmm. So you stand there, think, oh, this can be good, or that is not so good.
No,
or
that we do at home.
Okay.
Since we're working separately, me and Oscar, we just send files and discuss. And I'm working in my studio, and he's working in his studio.
Oh, okay, that's also good to know. Then another question that's really good, I think, is when you're listening to your own album after a while, do you think to changing something? Not only in the new album, I mean some...
Yeah, but I mean, some songs develop after a while. And if you listen to a studio version of a song and a live version of a song, it can be different, especially when it comes to the vocals. Because you realize that, maybe I should have done it like this. A little twist here, a little twist there. But thank God we play live so we can do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back and change everything, because everything is on the album for a reason. That was the way we intended the album to sound like, or the songs to sound like. So, yeah. No, I wouldn't change anything.
So you don't think about to re-release any album?
Well, re-release, yes, but we wouldn't change anything.
So it can be the same, like
if you do, yeah. If you re-release something, all our albums are out there anyways. But if you re-release, you might remaster, you might remix, and add some new songs. Mm-hmm. But I would never go in and change anything, because my voice doesn't sound the same anymore. Yeah. The guitar sound, we can't, get the same sound we had 14 years ago. So if you change something, you have to replay everything, and then you're going to have a new album. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the same magic as, for instance, on Glory to the Brave. Yeah. So, no. Even though the performances, I'm a much better singer today, I would never change anything from my past, because it's the past, it's the way from day one up until today that made who I am. So,
and how does it feel to hear your own voice on an album?
Horrible. Haven't you heard your own voice?
Yeah.
On radio or on answering machines? Yeah. Do you like it?
It depends. It depends. When I scream, then no. When I talk slowly and normal, sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. I also say sometimes then.
Then comes the next question, which has to do with Hector, because the question is from a user, who's the man behind the cover artwork? And on every album is a special person, that's Hector, but not on the Steel Meets Steel album, Rye. And what means Hector for the band and to the cover of the band?
I mean, Hector was developed already in the early days, because we wanted to have like someone to identify ourselves with on the cover. So Hector became like Hammerfall personified. I think it's called. No, not really. Persona. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and he's been following us ever since. He was made at first by Andreas Marschall, German artist, and then a guy called Sam Didier from Blizzard Entertainment, doing World of Warcraft, for instance. He took over, and he's been developing him ever since. On this album, we felt that no, we cannot use the same type of cover because the songs doesn't really say Hector fighting a battle, Hector doing this or that. We need to do something else. But as soon as you get the booklet, you're going to see he might show up in there. There's going to be a special edition. You're going to get so many drawings that you're going to throw up. Yeah, because it's so much. But not for the album cover. We felt, no, we have to. It's also a little statement that in the end, what matters is the music. It's not the cover that sells. But actually it is sometimes. Yeah. It's the package that sells the product.
Yeah. So but you can identify with the album when you see, okay, that's the same cover or the same person on the cover. Oh, it must be this band when you don't think about it.
Yeah, but also if you go into like a grocery store, and let's say you're going to buy something you have no clue about. Washing detergents. Like you're standing here, this looks good on the cover. Let's take that.
Yes.
So the cover sells. But maybe this is also a way to show that there is a small change to the music, to the band, that might appeal the people that turned their back against Hammerfall over 10 years ago already. That take it for what it is. Listen to it. If you don't like it, fine. I can't force you to like it. So, Mr. Hector, he's still around.
Yeah. And do you think about to create an own album cover for any band? And which band will it be?
I'm useless in drawings and paintings. No, I would not do that.
Now we come to play to the Hammerfall live part. We talk about something live. The next question is about the equipment. How many takes you with you on a tour?
Ooh. You mean how many people working for us or the equipment?
This and how many equipment, how many guitars and how many...
Depends on where we play. Like on a basic European tour, I think we have altogether 2 or 3 guitars each for the guitar players, an acoustic guitar, 2 or 3 basses, a huge drum kit and spare parts, all the amps, cabinets, in-ear systems. We have our own microphones with us. We have our own mixing console for monitors. So it's quite a lot of equipment, but it's not that much actually. And then we have like 5-7 people working for us on tour.
Yeah, let's go to the next question. Is it a big family, you and your roadies, or do you change them every tour?
Some people stick around. Some people, are coming in new on every tour. But that's a matter of, since we're not touring that frequently, they have to cheat on us and work with others, of course. And sometimes 2 tours clash. Meaning that, we can't get our sound engineer now because he's on tour with Gamma Ray, for instance, or whatever band. So we try to have the same people, but it's hard. Yeah.
And then another question comes from you, and I think it is a typical question. What is the worst thing that happened on a trip?
I mean, the worst thing that happened to us is when our tour manager disappeared. It was, what was that? 11 or 12 years ago. And he's assumed murdered, actually. He just disappeared during a show. He never came back.
That's horrible.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah. And did you have to cancel a show sometimes? Or do you have... Oh, no, the question now. Cut. I think it's when I talk about... don't think about what I have to talk. It's crazy. I'm a little bit nervous.
No worries, take it easy.
Then because the question is not on the paper. So... did you have to cancel a show sometimes? Do you think about when something happened in the crowd or when happened something on a stage or behind the stage? Did you think about to cancel a show? Or do you actually have?
But not because of that. We canceled 3 shows due to illness. When I was so ill, I couldn't get out of bed. High fever and just totally out there. But I mean, not fighting some people, but when we did a show, someone just started to throw things like mud.
Yeah.
I just say, you know what, if you keep on doing that, I'm leaving the fucking stage. And if someone sees this person, kick his ass for me. Then it stopped.
And what do you think about crowd surfing and mosh pit, circle pit?
As long as they have fun and don't interrupt, ending up on stage. I don't like crowd surfing when they end up on stage, which happens in the US a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy that they kick something that breaks, or I get a mic standing in my face, or a guitar breaks.
That's really not good. So when the people come to a Hammerfall concert to see you and didn't see you for any times, and it's the first show they will see, what they can expect from a Hammerfall show?
Well, if they haven't seen anything, they cannot expect anything. But I think Hammerfall Live is the ultimate live experience. That no matter if we have a lot of pyro or we're standing there without pyro, we always deliver. It's I think Hammerfall is very unique when it comes to live, because we love standing on stage. We always interact with the crowd. The crowd is part of the show, due to the fact that the songs we write are very melodic and catchy. And they are kind of written in a way that everyone has to sing along. And if you don't sing along, I'm going to force you to sing along.
Yeah, I've heard it because I saw you in 2008 or 7 together with Bullet and Sabaton in Berlin at Huxley's. It was a great show.
That was a really good show.
Yeah, because I never saw Bullet before, I never saw Sabaton before, and I never saw you before.
Okay.
It was in a signing session before in Saturn, but never saw the concert. And so I came there. It was really full. And you see all the people wearing Hammerfall shirts. So I have to go there and have to buy one.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the one I'm wearing now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So then came Bullet, a really great band. Sabaton, they blew me fucking away. And then you. And my day was perfect.
It was a great package.
Yeah, it was, really. And now Sabaton goes on headliner tours. You're going next time on tour, I think. And is the set list the same every day, every show, or did it change?
Basically, it's the same structure, yes. It's, let's say, you need to have the same, like the foundation, the same 10 or 14 songs, but then you build around that. You put in a couple of new songs, you take away one, put in 2 new songs. Since we're using a lot of click tracks and there's a lot of effects going on with the lights, pyro, we need to be consistent, because otherwise it might be very dangerous.
Yeah. So which songs are the songs which in every playlist are?
I mean, there are some songs like Hearts on Fire. We play it every time since the release of that song. We have to play it.
Yeah.
It's a great song to play and people expect to hear it.
I think it's your phone.
Sorry.
No problem. And Hearts on Fire is also good information, because you made a video, 2 videos. One normal video and one together with the Olympic curling team. Yeah.
Ladies.
Yeah.
Curling ladies.
What was the reason to create a video with them together?
Well, they asked us if we were interested to do a really weird collaboration. And since we are huge sports fans in the band, we couldn't resist, actually. We said, like, of course we're going to do this. Fantastic. Because all of a sudden, every 4 years when the Olympics come, we all turn into curling fans. Because we have done so many poor Olympics, the Swedish guys, that we're sitting there, hopefully now we get a medal. And usually they win. Yeah. So we said, well, of course, it doesn't matter if it's curling. We love it. And they won the Olympic gold and created a lot of attention due to the fact that we made this video. And if you look at it, I mean, we have fun. The girls have fun. We actually had them on stage once doing backup vocals for Hearts on Fire.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
Cool. And we are gotten videos now. Does this videos from Hammerfall transport the same message like a song? Or
No, never.
Never?
Never.
Why?
Never. Because I don't think we have 3-4 minutes to make a video. So what we try to do is make something fun and cool at all times.
Do you create the storyline yourself? Or?
Sometimes not.
Okay. Then, if you can choose, which band would you have as your support, or which band you would support?
Well, I would like to have a package with, let's say, Priest, Maiden, and Hammerfall. That would be a nice package.
Why not? Yeah, but Priest is on last tour now.
Yeah, so it's about time that they support us then.
Why not? Why not? What do you expect from a concert when you are in the crowd?
Well, I expect to be entertained. That you can look at the people on stage and you can see in their eyes that they are enjoying themselves. I've seen too many shows where it feels like the band want to be someplace else. Mm-hmm. And the moment I feel that, I might consider, leaving the business. Yeah. Because it's people pay a lot of money to see the bands, and they should get value for the money. In my opinion, is not how many bombs or explosives go off. It's if the band really want to be there.
Yeah. So when a band got a bad day, a
bad day you can actually cover up. No problem.
Okay.
It's a matter of that is not a matter of a bad day. I think that's a bad life.
So now let's talk about the new album. It will be called Infected. And why do you choose a name?
It's kind of a strong name, and Infected, it's really hard to, I don't really have a good answer for that. We were discussing whether or not we should have a song title as the album title. So we were talking about redemption, we were talking about this and that. But then, since we were so influenced by zombies on this album, and the opening track, we already decided to put Patient Zero on there. The word infected comes in every chorus. We just said, hey, how about infected? And we said, yes. Everyone just, yes. Call it Infected. It could be described maybe a little bit as the music of Hammerfall has been infected with something in order to get this new little twist in the music. But at the end of the day, it's not brain surgery. It's not like a thought-out plan. No, it's called Infected because of this.
Yeah, it's got a new great intro of his first song, which I think it's in a Gemmet Labor or in something like that.
It's if you listen to it, it's Project Legion. Legion is the name of the song from the previous album, and they're shutting down because there's something with, or there's actually, it's an infection, it's a virus that is is leaking out somehow, and they're shutting down to keep the virus, but it's too late.
Yeah, like the same in Fukushima. 11 songs are on the album now, and that's a question: how many songs were in the selection for Infected?
11
only.
Always. We never write any extra songs.
That's new.
Well, I mean, if you write a song that is not good enough to be in the album, I mean, we don't continue with that song. Mm-hmm. We just leave it for now.
Okay, so 11 and nothing more.
Yep.
How long did you need for songwriting? You told before 1 minute or 3 months, 3 weeks. The last album, No Sacrifice, No Victory, is still 2 years ago. So when you're on tour for a long time, do you write the songs for the new album, or do you do you finish the tour and then you're writing the songs? Or
yes, you answered the question yourself. I mean, while on tour, you're on tour. You're just enjoying yourself, because that is kind of the payoff for writing, recording, doing promotion, and everything like that. Playing live, you just have fun. So as soon as we were done with the tour of the previous album, we started to write this album. So it took like 6 to 8 months.
Mm. And what would you think is a song on the album which the fans will prefer and want to hear every day?
I think Bang Your Head is one of those songs.
Yeah, I will agree. Because it's so much power in there.
Very, very catchy.
Yeah. And some songs got some influence from some other styles. You told before that's an old style with metal, guitar here, vocals there. But you get so many influence from some other genres. I think some Vikings and Nordic styles are in with the keyboards and some songs.
Okay, but that's up to you. I don't know.
No?
No.
When you gave the album School Note, from 1 to 6, 1 is the best and 6 is, not really good. Which note would you give the album?
So 1 is the best and 6 is the worst. I wouldn't give it a 1 because then if you get the best review ever, like this is the ultimate album, where can you go from there? Either you fail miserably or you just quit like that. I think this is as close to perfection as we can get at this point. So I would give it then a number 2.
Okay. And when you give when you're ranking the Hammerfall albums altogether, all 8, which place will it take?
Oh, I can't really, it's impossible. We're talking about the new album where it's so fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the best we've ever done, which it is in my opinion. But I can't rank them because they're all my babies.
So let's talk about your solo project. That's something that normally the fans know, but some other people didn't know. You released a solo album in 2004 called Beyond the Gates. And what was the reason for this album to create a solo album? And who is the band behind the project?
I mean, this was a thing that I just had to do. I felt I had so much inside of me that I couldn't really channelize into Hammerfall. So I invited a lot of co-writers to work with me, and we wrote like 10, 11 songs that ended up on the album. And I just asked friends of mine that were great musicians to play on the album. And like I said, this was just a way for me to channelize a lot of ideas and aggressions that I had. It became just a one-time thing because it's been 7 years now and I don't have any plans or any ideas actually to continue this.
Okay, so then I can cancel the next question.
Yes, probably.
So let's come to the end of the interview, and now I will ask you some questions about several things. The first one is, what would you tell a newcomer band when they want to start in the music business, want to get higher and higher and become too famous?
I think, the most important thing is, keep on doing your thing. Don't listen too much to what the so-called experts are saying. And don't get too happy if you get a good review, because the next time they might stab you in the back and give you the worst ever. So it's kind of a balance you need to find there. And if you think you're going to make it in 1 week, it's tough. It's tough out there. It's really hard to make it nowadays, but a good songwriter will be noticed in time. A good musician will also be noticed in time. So just, hang in there, rehearse, have fun. At the end of the day, it's music, and music is supposed to be fun.
Yes, correct. Next question is, when you can ask your band members one question, what will it be then? What would you ask them?
How the hell can you cope having me in the band for so long without killing me?
And what would you think they will answer?
Because you're such a great singer.
Okay. What was the shittest question from a pressman to you?
I mean, it's if I get a bad question, I give them a bad answer. So I don't really, if sometimes when it's too personal. If it's, I just tell them, sorry, this is not appropriate.
Did it happen sometimes?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's something that's really funny, so you can tell us your favorite joke.
Well, it doesn't really translate into English. That's always the problem.
Then tell us in Swedish.
I mean, the favorite joke to do or to... I mean, I made a funny thing the other day when we did the video, because we were supposed to run out, open up a big door, and run away from zombies. But just before the camera team was ready, I locked the door, and I told Fredrik, you go first. And he stood there and he was battling this door and he couldn't get it open. That was funny.
Yeah, I think. So now you can teach us some Swedish words. We are here in Finland, okay, but you can teach us some Swedish words we can maybe learn.
Well, usually you only learn the bad words, but if you listen to it in Germany, I think that the word Zugabe feels like blow me in Swedish, sug av mig. So maybe you should learn to say even one more time would do, because then you might even hear the song one more time, or en gång till. Tack.
Okay. En gång till.
En gång till.
En gång till.
One more time, please.
Okay. We want more also.
Yeah, we want more words.
Okay.
But en gång till.
So,
one more time.
now,
Zugabe.
yeah. And now this en gång
En gång till.
En gång till is the last question of the interview, and that's the place that you can say whatever is in your mind, whatever is in your head, whatever you want to talk.
I really need to go to the bathroom. I'm exploding. I have to take a piss. But it was really nice talking to you, and I hope to see everyone on tour soon.
Okay, thank you, Joacim.
Thank you.